at the end of the day, the culture is not there in my house from day to day. The family is not there. I'm the one still dealing with all of these things on my own. So that's when the plan and the action, or creating the plan for the actions, sort of came to me. And I made it by realizing that it's all me. I have to do this alone. There's going to be no one else. There's no knight in shining armor coming to save me, or even a family or a godmother or anyone like that. It's all has to come from me. So I have to make the plan. Family's not there. Culture is not there.
It happened much later for me because there wasn't enough awareness or resources. We didn't have internet back then. It was very expensive. So I didn't have all the resources. But when I did have the awareness, I didn't utilize it immediately. But when I did decide to take action, I found that there was support, but not just from the people that I wanted the support from. There were other people, I just didn't know them. There were people who had done this before me. I just didn't know who they were and where they were, which is another reason why you and I are so committed to doing this.
Yeah.
And so when I took that first decision of saying no to cultural norms, right? No to what has been ingrained in me or that I've been conditioned to believe. When I took a step back is when I could see everything clearly. My first decision was to make myself better, right? So taking responsibility is one thing, then to put it into action. So I started going to local meetings, making your life better and improving your life, meaningful living, because I thought that what was missing in my life was meaning and understanding. And I was going through midlife crisis, and we all go through midlife crisis at some. This was my second midlife crisis. The first wasn't so much in midlife, but this was my midlife crisis. I think I was in my mid 40s, making that decision to improve my life. And then taking actions, going to meetings, educating myself, finding books and tools, and making a decision.
You're saying that you took the responsibility of going out and finding that support. So you found the support in the meetings, you're saying the books that you read. And I mean, I've sort of done my things too. I went out to look for that support too, because like you said, support it's not needed, but it's good to have. And it makes it so much easier. You're like, support is so important for everyone.
See, there are two parts. What you are going to do is your courage. To do something alone is hard.
So much.
To have support, it's easier. It doesn't make it easy. It's just easier. It's to know that you're not alone is so important. And that's why group therapy works. Group workouts work. It keeps you motivated and on track. And the likelihood of you falling back to your default, which happens, we fall back to our default. This is hard. I can't do it alone. It's too much work. A lot of people go back and they make the same mistakes over and over again.
Yeah, then we're stuck in that same cycle over and over again.
And that loop cycle, it happens a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Because of the invisible underlying belief systems that are operating for us without us knowing that they're there.
Yeah. And like we said in our intro, the whole podcast purpose is to make it easier for people to take the courageous steps to make it easier to do, or make them faster. Yeah. But also what support does is also makes you understand these type of things, right? That's what support did to me, because I did the things I needed to do, but I was still feeling guilty and shame and all of that and not understanding. So the support really opened up these, helped me to really explore the feelings, helped to become self-aware, and helped to realize that, separate the beliefs from what I believe to be true. And so support is not just to make it easier, but also, I think, understanding the whole mental health and to understanding yourself, your self-worth, and all of that comes along with it.
Right. Good point. So when we're taking these actions to transition from one scenario to another, essentially changing our stories of being a victim and then being in control of our lives, taking control of what you have control over, sitting in the driving seat of your own life, rather than being in the passenger seat and waiting for all the circumstances to get perfect before you take decisions, which is a lot of us wait for those perfect situations. There is no perfect situation. So sitting in the driver's seat of your own life, taking that action and saying that now I feel so much more in control of my life.
Isn't that self-growth? That's like development.
Part one is development. Growth is always happening.
Yeah.
But in which direction? What are we growing? Perpetuating the problem and growing the problem? Or are we moving forward and creating solutions growth is always happening.
Yeah, I guess it's the other side works too for growth. Yeah.
Everything works on both sides.
Yeah.
Am I doing this to serve me, or am I doing this to serve my community, my family, my culture?
Yeah.
So I am my culture, but it's not going to be the reason why I do things. I must also have this part that says I should be healthy in my life. And if I'm healthy, if I'm fulfilled, if I'm doing things that I feel like I'm a part of my life equation, then I'm happy, even with less, even without the support.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm not alone. And I know that there's someone who's rooting for me, who's going to pat me on the back every time I do something that might be against the culture, but great for humanity and people and me, because I'm a part of that humanity, I'm part of that people, and it's important to me. So having that distinction, and then our relationships.